Fall is totally my favorite season to get inspired in the kitchen, cooking all sorts of soups and warm desserts and pumpkin spice, everything. So today I'm gonna be recipe testing 4 delicious fall inspired recipes and showing you what I eat and get up to in a day. Breakfast time. I've said it before, I will say it again, I will die on this hill. Chocolate and orange is not just winter or Christmas time flavor combo. It's so good year round. And I wanted to recipe test something today with chocolate and orange, so I figured I would do like a baked breakfast oatmeal. It should turn out pretty good. I'm gonna recipe test it and yeah, follow along and let's see what I can come up with. So this chocolate orange baked oatmeal was pretty fun and easy to whip up. So to a large casserole dish, I added some rolled oats plus some oat flour, a little bit of baking powder, and some cocoa powder. I added about a 1/4 cup plus a pinch of salt, and then I just whisked that all up until it was well combined. And then for the wet ingredients, I added some plant milk and flax eggs to a bowl with a little bit of vanilla extract. And for some natural sweetness, I'm using up some date paste that I made. You can check out this video up here to see how I made date paste. And then I zested 1 whole orange. It was a pretty big orange, so I probably got, I don't know, maybe 1 to 2, probably 2 tablespoons of orange zest. And then I cut off all the skin from the orange and I added the flesh into my blender with just a little bit of water, and I blended it up until it was a very pulpy orange juice, because you know, don't want to waste any of that fiber. And then I just poured that orange juice into the remainder of the wet ingredients, and then I just whisked it all up, pour it into the rest of the dry ingredients, then just pretty much mix it all up until there's no dry spots remaining. And then I wanted to add in some textural things, so I thought let's add some chopped walnuts, and I had some chocolate chips, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's try that out. Now I could have also done cacao nibs if I wanted to go a slightly less sweet route, but I figured, you know what? Let's just have some fun. Let's have some sweet chocolatey goodness for breakfast. So it turned out pretty nicely, I gotta say. Into the oven it goes. Ooh, this smells really good. Smells chocolatey, smells orangey. Looks like it baked up pretty good. I always like the corner pieces where they're a little more crispy on the edges. Luke, I am your breakfast. Let's give it a try, shall we? I think I got something. I really think I got something. Look at that. Yummy, chocolatey, orangey goodness. You know, I was actually pretty worried. Well, I wasn't that worried, but I was a little worried that it wasn't gonna be chocolatey enough because I only used a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and like when I was mixing it all up, it looked kind of pale, you know, like it didn't look super chocolatey, but it's chocolatey enough. And especially with the extra chocolate chips that I added, it's so nice. It has a really good texture. Like the walnuts was a good choice. Definitely added that much needed crunch. Otherwise it would have just been kind of mushy all around. And I know some people don't like eating things that are just like mushy. But also when you bake oatmeal, your oatmeal doesn't end up being quite as mushy as like when you're doing stovetop oatmeal. So baked oatmeal is good for people who are like really texturally opposed to mushy foods. It's still kind of a little bit firm and chewy, and it's just so good. And the orange is like so vibrant. It's so there. Yes! So I've been trying to do more outdoor fitness lately, and something that I have really started to enjoy more these days is Frisbee. It's just so fun, and I've been playing with Brad and his brother. And this field, I didn't even realize was near my house. It's only like a 7-minute jog from my house, which leads me into explaining how I started going on these little adventure runs, just not knowing where I'm gonna end up. And this community garden is right next to this field where we play Frisbee, and I didn't even know any of this existed. And it's only like 5 to 7 minutes from my house, and this just brings me so much joy. And I'm just so inspired to keep exploring around places where I've never thought to even go. And it's just so fun, and I encourage you to do the same, and you just never know what you're gonna find, and you think you know where you live, and you think you know your area, and I totally didn't. And this is another little trail that we found that is just so beautiful, and it's become now one of my favorite jogging spots. So, just encourage you to get out, explore, and you just never know what you're gonna find. I'm just super glad that I found this place. I'll tell you one thing, and that is, I stink. I need to go have a shower, like, pronto. That was a lot of sprinting, a lot of running, a lot of sweating, and a lot of stinking. So, I'm gonna drink my green smoothie. It's got all of these things in it. It's packed full of goodness. Help me recover and keep me full until lunch, which I will be making something, recipe testing with some leftovers that I have in my fridge. So yes, I'm gonna go have a shower and I'll catch you later. Back in the kitchen, I just got done with my shower. So I have some leftover meal prepped roasted eggplant, and honestly, I'm feeling a little bit eggplanted out. So I want to repurpose my eggplant into like a spread or a dip, kind of like baba ganoush. I know it's not going to be exactly like baba ganoush, but I figured I have some also meal prepped and pre-cooked white beans in my fridge, so I figured I'd kind of blend the two together, make some sort of creamy bean eggplant dip spread type thing. So I think it should be pretty good, and I have a lot of, I think, good ingredients to make it. So let's try it out. Okay, just gonna like scoop out the fleshy soft part into my food processor. Let's see how this goes. Oh, it's so soft. Okay, there's one. Woohoo! Look at all that. Oh, that's sharp. That is 2 whole eggplants for you, friends. White beans, lemon juice, soaked cashews and sunflower seeds, and some spices. Going in for the taste test. That was really good. Lemony, tangy, creamy, salty. Got some nice spices in there. The cumin and the sumac. Yes. Yes. Hi again. So it's about almost 6:30 p.m. so it's nearing dinner time, and I am going to be making like a butternut squash soup in the Instant Pot, and I've got some focaccia bread proofing right now in a warm spot in my kitchen, so I'm so excited to see how that turns out. I have made focaccia in the past, but never felt like I perfected it, so this is definitely going to be a recipe test along with my butternut squash soup, so I'll be taking notes along the way. I hope they both turn out really yummy. I'm so hungry right now, so yeah, I'll just whip that up and show you guys a little bit of what I am cooking. So something that I've been seeing a lot of on the interwebs is adding apple to any kind of like squash soup, which I have done before, but it's been a while, so I figured let's try it again. So I'm gonna be using apple and some squash and carrots, and that's gonna make up the bulk of the soup, but I'm gonna saute some red onion, and then I added some garlic and some fresh thyme and sage, and then I added in all the chopped veggies plus some red lentils for the extra protein, and then some veggie broth plus a little bit of extra water. And then I thought, kind of at the last minute, I was like, let's make this a curried soup. So I added some curry powder, and then I just let it cook, do its thing, and here is the finished product. Oh, I haven't tried any of this yet. I haven't tasted the soup, which is actually kind of silly because I should have tasted it to make sure like it tastes good. But that's recipe testing live, and I haven't tried the focaccia bread, so I'm very excited, and I'm gonna do my first taste on camera. Ooh, that's a hot bowl. This isn't smart. I'm just gonna... I added a can of coconut milk before I blended this. Mmm, that's so nice. You know, like the curry powder is like actually kind of subtle. It's not overpowering at all. And like even the flavor of the herbs that I added, the thyme and the sage, ooh, it's so nice and creamy. And the lentils give this extra like substance, and it's still thick, but it's smooth and creamy. The apples add this amazing light sweetness. Oh my gosh. Okay, bread. Okay, so I already know one thing about this focaccia bread is that because I use predominantly oat flour, it didn't really hold shape very well. It didn't rise a lot. Like, it's quite thin, so I wouldn't even classify this as focaccia bread. It's almost like a flatbread, which, hey, I'm fine with. So I'm just gonna... I don't know. I don't know what I think of it. It's nice. It's really nice. I don't know if it's weird that I like the taste of yeast in my bread. Like, I like yeasty bread. There's something about it. It's just really, like, delicious to me. It's got a nice texture, but it's a little dry and a little crumbly. The sun-dried tomato, though, was a really nice touch. So I think I still have a lot of work to do on this bread, and I gotta figure out a better way to do this. You know, maybe use other flours and just a little bit of oat flour. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up and eat. It is tasty though. It is tasty. Ooh, gotta do the dip. It's been a long day of cooking and recipe testing, and I hope you enjoyed watching and being a fly on the wall in my kitchen today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big like, subscribe below, check out a few of my other What I Eat in a Day videos here, and I'll be sure to catch you in another video. Bye!